So I don't know what it is about sitting in my car in the rain that always opens up my mind, but here we are. I have a few things at the top of my head and I really want to get them off. So I'm going to start with the fact that 22 years ago today, I remember where I was. And I think that when we think about the aspect of most people are 1 degree of separation away from someone, if not themselves, who've experienced an adverse childhood experience. When we talk about how messed up the millennial generation was, you gotta remember, collectively, that entire generation, I'm not saying that the adults didn't also have adverse effects to that traumatic experience, but I genuinely remember sitting, I was in the waiting room for the principal's office, and that's a different story for another time. But I was watching this all unfold on the television, and I got in trouble with my gifted resource teacher at the time because when I was trying to reenact it for the students later on that day about what I saw, it might have not even been later that day, but still, it was just, it was so impactful for me because I thought it was a movie. I mean, I was a kid, I didn't know the true severity of what had happened up until she told me that she didn't know if her uncle, who worked in the Twin Towers, if they were alive or not. And, you know, this is one of those things where children often, because of the innocence of youth, we don't really understand the severity of death yet. But all of us quite quickly had a rude awakening for what the real world held today, 22 years ago. So because of that, I want to share with you, I did successfully complete my cohort with ACES Matters in the Reacher Academy, and I'm gonna flash the certificate up here so you can see that. Super proud of that. What I'd like for you to do is I'm gonna drop it, leave it in the comments or you can probably follow the link in my bio. Either or, I'll make a post of it there on my Substack as well for you to take your ACE score. I'd love for you to share that with me because we're on a mission to educate 1 million families about their ACE scores. And for some of you, this might be the first time you're ever hearing about that. That's why you need to know. Join the conversation, because if we're not talking about it, nobody knows. And if nobody knows, nobody grows. Also, talking about growth, September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. And I personally, it's been 5 years now since I've been life and health insurance licensed. I actually really love money. I love understanding how it all works. But one thing that I think is very important is the fact that if you have the opportunity to get your license, especially during this time, I think you should get it. And the second thing is, because of Life Insurance Awareness Month, and I'm really trying to figure out how can I bring the most amount of value to my audience, since I'm, just to be honest, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Yes, I'm extremely brilliant, but sometimes understanding how to apply oneself is the challenge. So I'm going through my self-discovery process, and I highly encourage you to join me. No, I didn't necessarily line that up on purpose, but you're correct. I am that self guy, spiritually embracing living free. Honestly, that is the ultimate destination for me. And how do I intend to do that? Right now, it looks like monetizing every hour of my day and then laying the blueprint for other people to follow. I genuinely believe that we do not have to suffer. It hurts me sometimes to see people reach out to me. They only just need a couple of bucks, couple of $100 to pay rent, keep the car, lights on, whatever the situation is. And because I've allowed myself to be so undisciplined, honestly, And this is accountability. Something else that I'm working on is throwing together more accountability groups. And I'm saying it like that because I think there's diversity with regards to how different people need to be held accountable. For some people, they need more of that tough, like, hey, it's time to get your behind in gear. And then some people need more of that, so how can we fix that moving forward? More of that calm approach. So testing different things. I got a lot of things that I'm working on, and I'm just ready to start showing up because honestly, I've decided that I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. And out of everything that I can think of, the biggest enemy that I can choose to take down right now is illiteracy. Out of all of the dimensions that I intend to work on and help educate everybody on, the one that I probably have the closest relationship to and the easiest for me to start so I can start generating income like today is finance. So I'm also going to be including information for my P-Cell article on Substack, where I tell people how to get their life insurance license, but that's also to help build anticipation for the fact that I'm going to be dropping the first module for the Exponential Licensing Accelerator probably tomorrow. But just know I'm going to be dropping a lot of game this month for Life Insurance Awareness Month. And I think it's time for me to go ahead and dive into the pool. So probably going to be, once I get through this current situation of achieving ramen profitability, essentially that means, paying rent, making certain everything that I have to take care of is taken care of. Gonna go ahead, make certain that my E&Os are in order, and dust off this license so I can get back to helping families. Because as I continue to pay attention to everything that's going on in my life, I say helping families, but honestly, I think that there's a particular demographic that is going to be perfect for me. And I'm just going to summarize it with gamers, nerds, blurs, content creators, streamers. You get the gist. There's a great intersectionality between what I do, what they do, and the fact that both of us desire to pursue what we love, get paid to do it, and we're unapologetic about it. So much love, stay safe, stay blessed, have a great one.